Hello again, everybody. You brand new teachers at Red River Valley School Division. Another little video session on Google Drive. I wanted to just share with you a few things what you do with Google Drive. This is where you store all your information, and you can also create new documents right from this spot. So I know this might look a little cluttered or a little different than what you're seeing, but I'll take you through some of the stuff that I think you need to know, at least in the next a couple of months, just to get you started. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to see here is this priority. You may not start using this right away. This is when you start using a lot of the files. It'll start. You might be using the same files over and over again, and it'll pick out little things that you can do, recent things that you've been working on, and then you don't have to go digging around for it. It'll just have it there for you. You can create workspaces here too. What I'm interested in right now is we're just going to go down to My Drive. This is where you keep all your information. Okay, so there's My Drive, and then there's also something called Shared Drive. So shared drives are shared drives in our school division. All right, so you may have a few of those in there. Your school might have a shared drive. You'll see I have a lot of shared drives here. That's mainly because I'm a part of a lot of different of the school programs and so on. Okay, so that's those three. Priority, I wouldn't worry too much about priority right now, but My Drive is something that we'll take a look at. When you're in My Drive, I'm going to show you a couple of different views here. I'm just going to go to up in this top right hand corner. I can go to list view. This looks more Microsoft Office like. Once it goes in there, you'll see that it'll have the folders. You can create folders. You can see who the owner was, all the different modifications that were done. And these are all the different files. You can see I have a lot of, I should probably go through here and clean some of these up. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. But there's a lot of stuff I have loose that are not in folders. And we won't get into that right now because there's different philosophies on how to organize your drive. Anyway, so these are folders that you can create, and of course, if you have created something, you can take one of these and drag these up into these folders. Okay, so there's lots of things you can do with that. So how does this work? So you can well, I should also mention that you can take information from a jump drive, a thumb drive, a USB stick, or you can upload stuff from your computer directly into Drive. However, there's lots of different ways you can do this. I won't get into the nitty gritty of that right now, but if you're interested and you have stuff in your thumb drive that you're wanting to get into your Google Drive. There are videos on my channel that you can do that. It'll show you how to transfer that stuff over. I'll show you a couple of tricks that you may want to have selected in your drive in order for that to happen. Okay, so there's one thing. We'll do that right away. And so we can, oops, wrong one. I'll try that again. We can go grid view. A lot of students like grid view, seems like, more than the list view. But anyway, you got the grid view because it does show the pictures, which makes life a little bit easier for you. So you can see what the actual document looks like. That seems to be easier to remember. You can also search up here as well. But I wanted to, let's get into the settings here. One of the things that I think are important when you are bringing files in from another let's say from another disk or a thumb drive, is a couple things. It's nice to have this turned on right here. What that'll do is it'll convert your Microsoft documents directly into a Google Doc, and we'll get into those types of things later in later videos. But a Microsoft document can be converted into a Google Doc, easier to work with, shareable, that kind of thing, and so on. So it'll convert it into Google Doc editing format. Makes life a lot easier, so you don't have to do extra clicks. Some people don't like that; they would rather keep it in the Microsoft format. But you will eventually have to change it over if you want to share it with other people. Okay, and the other one that's nice to have is this offline option. And this is for every unit that you have, including Chromebooks. So if you're working with a Chromebook, you will need to go in there and turn that on. We may have that automatically turned. I can't remember, but those might be automatically turned on for Chromebooks. But for anything that's not a Chromebook like these, if you've got a PC or a Mac, it's nice to have this turned on. This means it will, just like it says, create, open, edit your recent documents, sheets, and slides on this device while offline. It just, you can work on it. Once you hit Wi-Fi again, it'll kick in and it'll shoot it where if you can share it with people, and it'll go back into your drive. Okay, so there's a few things that I think you should probably know in your drive. Let's go down here. All right, so the other thing in Drive that you can do is you can actually start, and this is what I recommend to people, is you can actually start a new file directly from Drive. So if we click on New, I can also create a new folder. File uploads means I can actually click on this and look into my computer and upload a file from my computer into Drive. I can do that if I want. I can also, whoops, I'll close that. I can also upload a folder. See if it lets me do that. Oh, there it goes. Upload a whole folder. It'll look for folders in your computer, and so I can click on that, and it'll upload directly into Drive. Again, there are lots of videos on my YouTube channel that show you how to do that. I don't want to go into a lot of detail into that right now. The other thing you can do, which is what I recommend for a lot of people, is you can open up Google Docs from here, Sheets, Slides, and you have a whole bunch more of different options you can do here as well on that. A lot of the stuff we will not go into. If you ever want to learn more about Jamboard and all these, we can look at these later, but these first three, actually up to the fourth here, oops, Google Forms, we'll be talking about that. There's and again, there's so many things you can do in Google. I don't want to overwhelm you with all the different options we have there. But anyway, you can actually start a new a new Google Doc right from here, and it'll put it directly into your Drive. You don't have to worry about saving it. It's automatically there all the time. Okay, so that's Google Drive. It's a nice place to, if you ever get stuck, if you don't know where you are, always go to Google Drive, and then you can find your stuff right here. The other part that's very important is recent. I like this one. When you click on recent, it'll show you all the files that you have been working on or somebody has shared with you. So you may not recognize it, but somebody may have shared with you. So these are all the files that I've been working on. Shared with me are exactly that. It's a file that's been shared with you from another person. Typically, you get an email from that person saying, hey, I want to share this file with you. So you can also access it through email, or you can come here and look at it here as well. So I can see that Dan has shared some stuff, Dave, Funk, Diane has, Lori, and I can click on these ones and look at that and see what's going on, or what they shared with me. And typically that's what you would do when you're in shared with me. Now, the only thing with shared with me that's kind of frustrating, and a lot of people have mentioned this many times, when it's shared with you, you can't necessarily delete it out of here. So it's going to stay there. I typically don't go into share with me because it is quite overwhelming. I'd rather do a search for things, or if you really want to use something, like I like this Winnipeg custom, I can drag that right into my Drive, and that'll open up all my folders, and I can put it in that way. You'll notice if I do that, if I go into AutoCrack and let go, the Winnipeg custom will stay there, but it'll be in both folders. But so just so you're aware, the shared with me can be a little confusing because you're seeing a lot of, and in fact, I'm going to do this, makes life a little bit easier. When you do this, then you can see who shared it with you. Right here, shared by. It can get kind of confusing. Just keep in mind that typically, if it's been shared with you, it's in your email, but you can also go in here and you can move this around into my Drive if you so desire. Again, if it takes a bit of time to get through that and understand it, again, I'm here to help you with that kind of information if you want some more help how to organize that. Okay, So I think that's it for Drive for today. And again, we're just scratching the surface. There's so much here that we can get into, but I just want to give you a basic rundown of some of the things you can go through here. Okay, hopefully that's been helpful. We'll talk soon.